Chapter 11 deals with the fallout, the aftermath, the reaction to the argument that the four main characters had in Chapter 10. So the first fallout, the first aftermath, the first reaction is by Nikolai Petrovich, and he does a lot of self-reflection. And his self-reflection is he thinks he's a liberal-minded, up-to-date kind of person for his age. By the way, it's bothering me for some reason. Again, he's mentioned to be 44 years old in this chapter. And again, I have to say the book started with calling him 40 years old. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. And for a 44 or 40-year-old man, he's done a lot of self-reflection, and he's read all the latest articles. He's gone to St. Petersburg 3 straight winters to keep up with what the college kids are talking about. He just can't believe that his ideas are really this outdated. But the thing is, it's bothering him. He has the humility and the self-reflective ability to try to see where he might be wrong and this younger generation might be right. He can't help but see that their view of nature being a workshop and not a cathedral, he can't help but see that that's wrong. And yet he wonders if he still has too much of the old world ethic in him, and maybe there is something right about the young people. So that's his first reaction, is to think about the present and the future, and seeing not only this nationally, but also with his own son, that he's wasted his time while his son was in college trying to stay connected with him. So both nationally, he's troubled about the present and the future, and personally, he's troubled about the present and the future, that this latecomer Bazarov has taken his son from him with his new ideas. Well, as people often do, and Turgenev is a good noticer of human behavior, one thing that we do when the present stinks and the future seems hopeless is we begin to reminisce. And so the second thing Nikolai Petrovich does, besides some humble self-examination, the second thing he does is he goes back in his memory before Fenichka, before even his first wife was a middle-aged woman, to when they were just kids. And so he recollects what it was like to be with her and that relationship. And so our minds as human often do this. We go back to times that we can perceive in hindsight as better than the present, and certainly better than our vision of what the future is going to be. And we go back and we reminisce, and we idealize and we romanticize. And so that is part and parcel of the character of Nikolai Petrovich. He has a romantic notion of things. Well, he doesn't have a lot of time to do this. He notices the beauty of nature, and just then Pavel Petrovich, his brother, comes up, and he is not romantic. He agrees with his brother, but he disagrees in that there is no good to be learned from this new generation. It's all trouble. So there's no introspection, no humility on Pavel's part. In fact, Turgenev describes him as having a little bit of French cynicism and a dry heart, and he's not romantic in the way that his brother is. Then the end of the chapter switches scenes away from the two old brothers to the young bucks, and Bazarov is saying that he wants to go see his parents. And so Bazarov, is he living completely consistently with his nihilism? Because he feels some sort of duty, pity, condescending duty to go see his dad, who really is a laugh, even though he's boring. He is an amusing fellow, and so Bazarov even seems to value his family and his father. Arkady secretly wants to go with him, but he needs to conceal his feelings when Bazarov invites him to go to meet his father. Arkady has to conceal his feelings, which I think Turgenev is wink-winking to us, the reader, and saying, look, Arkady, this nihilism, this doesn't really come from his core character, the heart and soul of who he is. This is kind of a put on, and so he has to conceal who he really is in order to impress Bazarov. So that's really how the four main characters in Chapter 11 react to the fight in Chapter 10, but Chapter 11 cannot close without one kind of snarky comment, and that is when Bazarov and Arkady leave, the old servants are relieved and the young servants are sad. So even in the servant class, even among the serfs and the recently freed serfs, there is a generational clash where Bazarov and Arkady are kind of annoying if you're old, off-putting, and they're kind of cool and easy to talk to if you are young.